Hey guys, it's Kip here from KDC Marketing, and in today's video I want to talk about the simplicity of the Wix Editor and when you might want to use this versus using Wix Studio. So if you followed my YouTube channel for any amount of time, you know that I mostly post content about Wix Studio, and that's because it's a lot harder to use than this Wix Editor here. It's confusing, and sometimes simple updates can take hours to make, and you have to understand design a bit more and responsive behaviors and all kinds of things to make Wix Studio websites work. But this classic Wix editor is still really awesome, and I use it for my KDC Marketing website. And I haven't decided to switch over to Wix Studio just yet because I still love the simplicity of this editor. And I've built some websites on Wix Studio for clients, and they work great, and it's been awesome. But I also have built a lot more websites on this classic Wix editor, and it's the editor that I know a bit better, and I like it more for its simplicity. And you know, when you're building websites for clients, and if they want to make their own changes after you've finished the website, then this is the one that I would recommend, because giving them the ability to make changes on Wix Studio is a bit scary because they don't really know the platform and it's hard for them to figure out. So if you have a client that's going to want to make changes afterwards and you want something that's more simple for them, you're definitely going to want to use this Wix editor if you can still do all the things that you need to do from a design perspective. So I just want to highlight a couple of things that I really like about this editor really quickly. So one of the things is you just have these two devices, and what you see is what you get. So when I see this on my mobile device here, I know this is exactly what it's going to look like on a phone. And same with desktop. I know when I'm looking at my desktop editor, then this is actually what the customer is going to see. And I don't have as much flexibility over the responsive behavior of text elements, for example, but I know that they're going to work. So if you want an editor that's just going to work, that you're not going to have to tinker with as much, you're going to want to use this Wix editor, because it is it's so much more consistent with what you see here on the back end and what you actually get on the front end than Wix Studio. Sometimes you design something in Wix Studio and then it doesn't quite format correctly when you publish the website, but that's not the case here with the Wix editor. So I really love that. And then a couple other things is it has this quick edit tool for sections. So if I want to edit this section here, my hero section, I can change all of these different elements in one go with the quick edit tool. So if I want to change the background or the title or the paragraph or button or any of those kind of things, the link to the button, I can do it here and not really have to mess with the design, but just mess with the elements themselves. And then kind of going along with that, if you zoom out, you can move these sections up and down really easily. So you just hover over the section and you get these arrows to move section up and down. You just have to click and it moves up and down, and it's really nice if you want to move things around. It works really well. The other thing that I love about the Wix editor is that you can save these sections. So this is similar to Wix Studio, but if I want to save this, I just right click and click add to save sections, and then I can save this section as a hero section or whatever I want. And I can reuse that on this website, but any other website that I work on in my workspace. So the reason I like to zoom out to save the section is because sometimes you have strips like this one here. This blue one's a strip, and it can be hard to know which part of the section you're clicking on. And so you can see as I'm clicking on this strip here, it doesn't give me the option to save. It says to save to my design, so those are different than saved sections. So you want to zoom out and you can save the section this way, add to save sections. So that's a really great feature. And then the other thing is the menu. If you've ever worked in Wix Studio, you know the menu can be a bit hard to get set up, and it's a little bit surprising why it's so difficult to do, but it's difficult to get the menu to work how you want it and to set the menu items and sub-menu items, but the Wix editor makes this really easy. So this is the way that the menu looks, and you can drag items under the sub-menu and create new menu items. Like you can create a new page, you can create just links, sections, anchors really easily and move them around, and then it categorizes them really nice here as well. so you can see the different apps that you're using and the pages that go along with those different apps. And of course, you have to design the menu here just like you would. So I'm clicking on the actual menu element itself, and then I can customize this design. It's just so much easier most of the time than Wix Studio is to get your menu how you want it, and to make sure it's going to work correctly. So just wanted to highlight a couple of things. There's obviously a lot more to the Wix Editor, and there are some weaknesses it has compared to Wix Studio. Like, it doesn't have the stretch feature. So sometimes to get images to fill columns or to fill sections can be a little bit difficult. So there's some things that are faster in Wix Studio, but for the most part, I really love this editor, and they continue to make updates to this one as well. And a lot of the same functionality that's in Wix Studio does exist here in the Wix Editor. So the Wix Forms, for example, is in both editors. It's the exact same drag and drop form builder, and you get the same functionality there where you can customize these forms the same way you would in a Wix Studio website. So I really love that a lot of the apps are the same, like the FAQs app and the Forms app, and some of the different apps that you might use. But there are some exclusive features that only Wix Studio has, and for most people, they don't really need those features. So just wanted to highlight that this is still a really great editor. I love its simplicity, and I love how it just works when you build it and design it. If you do it right from the beginning, it's going to work when you publish it, and you don't have to mess with it as much. And so if you're looking for something that's a bit more simple than Wix Studio, then I would highly recommend using the Wix Editor, because you can still create really awesome, clean, professional websites using the Wix Editor. And it might take you less time, honestly. If you don't want to mess with all the different bells and whistles that Wix Studio has, you might be able to do it faster than inside of Wix Studio. So I hope you found this video helpful, and I will see you in the next video.